golden-eyed boy that we've been talking about all afternoon. Just like Tristan is in love with Shidulu. Oh, I think Tingana is also gorgeous, but Hosana is easily the most attractive male leopard I think I've ever seen. What are you staring at? Tumba, I like Tumba too, Ferg. I do, because he's got blue eyes. I'm a sucker for anything with blue eyes. But, but Hosana's beautiful golden eyes and just his whole look about him is absolutely amazing. Let's see if he's realized that that Dad is around. I think he must smell him. He's been laying about here. That's what the Franklins were alarming at. So earlier, maybe about 5 minutes ago, I said I can hear Franklins alarming in the distance, and I can still hear them. And that's obviously where Hosana has come from. Boy, you're looking in the wrong way. Dad's here. What have you seen? Have you seen our lone kudu girl? Because Nais was looking there. Oh, that's stunning. What have you seen, boy? There's also lots of antelope and things moving around, so maybe he's distracted slightly. We'll see if he if he realizes that Tingana is here. Catherine, yes, most certainly all animals can identify themselves with their family members. Most of the time it's probably scent or sound. You know, mom calls you, you know what your mom's voice sounds like. So that definitely plays a part in it. And, I mean, Hosana's been interacting with Tingana for his entire life. So, of course, he knows who he is and feels quite comfortable with him and being around. I think he's actually seen that kudu cow. Do you know that, Ferg? I think that's what he's looking at. That was, you know, obviously we had that amazing sighting in the beginning where we got to watch that kudu sort of sniffing about. Yes. Hosana, I don't know what you've seen in the tree. You're going to go up the jackalberry. But come around here. Come and say hello. He's a lovely boy. Hey, look at those eyes. Beautiful dappled lighting on his face. And I'm quite happy to see that Hosana's not hasty with his decisions, because that will also land him in a bit of trouble. It is good that he sits and he listens and he smells and he observes. Because when he was younger, obviously very inexperienced, he just, like I suppose most of us when we are young, we don't realize the dangers out there, and you just sort of jump on into them. So it's nice to see him just not running up to Tingana. Tingana doesn't know he's here, though. Patrick, yep, you're quite right. Leopards are more nomadic. It's because they're constantly on the go. They're moving around quite a bit. Like I said, male leopards travel huge distances, massive distances. I mean, so do male lions. I suppose any male big cat typically on the move and can move quite far away from where they were born. So maybe not necessarily the females. The females tend to stay within the same area. Whereas we know if a leopardess has cubs and they are girls, she'll actually try and open up a bit of a space for her cubs to eventually live around her. And it's like what we saw with Karula and then Tandi and Shadow, who are daughters who are around. And then we're starting to see, sadly, Shongile has not been sighted for a very long time, so we obviously think that she has passed on. Something must have happened, whether it was the fight with Tandi that took her out. No one will never know the answer to that, I'm afraid. It's just another one of the mysteries of the bush, and there are many mysteries in the bush. It's the same thing with the disappearance of Karula. One day she was there, the next day she wasn't. We still will never know what happened. So they will typically stay around here. So I suppose male lions, male leopards are fairly nomadic. Yeah, he's seen a waterback. That's what I just saw walk past. We can't see it anymore. It's far away now. Now, Tom, both lions and leopards are territorial. Obviously in the Mara we had a great demonstration of how the females were fairly territorial too. And we've actually seen scent marking quite a bit, where they typically just have like sort of a home range. But their territory seemed to be more intense than I've ever seen down here in South Africa. And like I said, I've actually never seen lionesses scent marking before. I'm sure I just haven't been at the right place at the right time, but they do definitely do that. So we actively see more leopards sort of being more territorial, both male and female. whether it's with vocalizations as well as then scent marking, urine. Also, they've got glands in their cheeks that you often see them rubbing up against on trees, on branches, all these different types of things. So definitely I'd go with leopards being a little bit more territorial, if anything, but both species do mark. Let's see, I think he's maybe... Have you seen Tingana? Tingana has no idea what's going on. He's fast asleep. He hasn't even twitched to look around here. I mean, Hosana has come in fairly quietly. He's managed to avoid all the go-away birds. And I suppose, looking at young Hosana, he's quite sprightly. Hey, new coat, pink nose, golden eyes, very few scratches. He's just got a notch out of his left ear. So Mina Moo, I love it now that we've given you a nickname. I haven't noticed the leopard, or actually any of the animal coats fading sort of as they get older. And we've been looking at Tingana. I mean, he doesn't seem to have more grey now, or not that I can see, but they typically hold their colour fairly well, which is quite nice. Right, have a quick look. So this is where we are, and then this is Tingana. Look, you can see no reaction whatsoever. Still fast asleep, still facing the other way. He hasn't even rolled back over. There's scratching around his head. Like I said, with Tingana, he just sits up, he yawns, and then he goes. He doesn't spend much time grooming himself, and that's evident. I mean, you can see he doesn't look like he's faded at all. I don't think so. And if he does give himself a proper groom, his coat will look lovely, but there's lots of ticks around. Perhaps now that he's had a decent meal, he'll maybe look after himself a bit better. He's definitely taken a back seat in terms of brushing his coat. Whereas you look at Hosana, and he has not got a hair out of place whatsoever. Now, Kuchava's also in the area. Kuchava was also sort of coming in this direction from what Tristan told me. Though Hosana might be listening out. I can still hear the odd Franklin in the distance, still making interesting sounds. Maybe that's what he's listening to now. But this is so cool. Only thing is, though, as you can imagine, the sighting just got infinitely more exciting. So there are going to be a lot of people that want to come in here, but we'll try and spend as much time as we can. We have been patient in watching him fast asleep. I feel like we've earned our spot here. Now, when leopards are born, obviously their spots seem to be a lot darker and their rosettes are closer together. We've been lucky, we've seen two very young leopard cubs. And the other thing that they have is a bright pink nose. So Paula, the reason why some leopards have dark noses versus some having light noses, it's just when they're young, their noses are pink. Some of them will never lose that. So, that will stay with them throughout their entire life. Otherwise, typically with lions as well, as they start to get a little bit older, that nose starts to darken slightly. Sometimes it goes completely black. Otherwise, it can be patchy. Big yawn. His teeth are looking good. Remember Shongile actually had a little nick out of one of her canines. Oh, big stretch. When you see a leopard do that, sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, how is that a wild animal? I mean, they look just like house cats when they do that. Are you going to go up, boy? And see what he's going to do. I'm sure he's going to smell Tingana around the tree. What I might do is actually go back a bit, Ferg. Do you mind if... Oh, no, here he comes. No, I thought he was going to climb up the tree and then I was just going to make room for the other vehicle, but no, we're just going to sit tight. Let's see. Are you going to see Tingana? There we go. I'm watching Tingana as well. I don't know if he can hear. Hosana wasn't really moving quietly through the grass. See, patience. He's going to come right through here. Thinking he's smelling, but he's not looking in Tingana's direction. He hasn't noticed him. Tingana doesn't know. I can just see Tingana. He's walking straight towards him. Oh, this is so cool. Careful, boy. It's the front of our car. No, and he's going, oh, someone's there. Who's that? Hosana, you are crazy. What happens if that wasn't Tingana? You'd be in a lot of trouble. I feel like Tingana's got to the point now where he's not even surprised anymore. He's just slinking off. Not actually going around. He's trying to figure out who's there. Tingana, put your head up. So I'm almost 100% certain that Hosana will know the smell of Tingana and vice versa. So perhaps that's why Tingana's not maybe reacting. He's going around. He's sneaking around the grass. Oh, he's a cheeky boy. You take big chances. Look, here he goes. I promise you, we are so lucky to be sitting watching things like this because this is not common. It's honestly the first time I've ever seen, a young male behaving like this. Whether it's because, look, here he comes. You can just see him coming around the bend there. He is so cheeky. You're just going to listen because they're making some sound. I agree with you, Nikki. I do think that that's exactly what's going on. This is incredible. You don't see this type of stuff, I promise you. Look, you can see Tingana looks not impressed. He's just like, leave me alone. Give me a break. I'm not supposed to be looking after you. That's your mom's job. And he just can't help himself. He really just can't help himself. And he's like, I'm just going to sit here with you. Don't scent mark in his face. That's a bit of an insult. Is he leaving a present? Oh, no, that's terrible. Yeah, hey? How rude is that? Can you believe it? You can't do that. You're lucky that he doesn't chase you away, Hosana. If any sons had ever done that to their fathers, they'd find themselves in a bit of trouble. Hey? Can you believe this cat? He is a clown. Look at him. Thank you very much, Dad. Left you a present. And just, Tingana's watching him. Hosana doesn't care. He's not watching his back. He's got his rear end completely facing him now. So this just shows you how comfortable they are with one another. This is pretty spectacular. You'd think that Hosana would be watching Tingana 100%, not taking his eyes off of him. Jeff Flowers, I agree with you. It's bizarre. You're looking at this, you're seeing two male leopards, one that's just over 2, the other that's reaching the end of his life. So you've got two ends of the spectrum here, interacting with one another. Well, Hosana is just walking around here like he owns the place. So yeah, it's strange. It's an interesting, behavior that we're seeing. It is stunning light, hey? He's just going to sit here. Tingana, you see his tail twitching every now and then. He's just like, oh, I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I've moved away, and you're still following me. He just got to the point where Tingana's chosen this really nice property called Chitwa to retire on, which is great. Tristan and I were having a laugh about it today. We were saying it's great. There's lots of food. There's nice lounges on the decks that you can sit at. There's a big lake. You can, maybe Tingana's going to take up some water sports. Perhaps he'll try canoeing, fishing maybe, a bit of bird watching. The birds are great around here. And all he wants is some peace and quiet. He lives in his little space. He doesn't go wandering. And now he's got Hosana bothering him. I suppose Hosana doesn't know any different, though, because he's interacted with him so many times, and Tingana has been so tolerant of him. So now he just thinks it's normal. I'm sure there's another leopard here. Or there's a raptor that's flown off, but the Franklins are going berserk again. And this is the area where, like I said, where Kuchava was making her way to here. Anyways, well, I don't know who I'm sending you off to, because I'm having a good chuckle at these two leopards, but it'll be fun wherever you go.